Hi, I'm Liz Parker Kuhn, Senior Editor, Candy Industry Magazine. Today we are talking to Kim Wiesen, CFO, and Jordan Wiesen, COO of Iconic Candy. Thanks for being here today with us.
Thank you for having
Hi,
us.
how are you?
Good. So today we were talking about hard candy trends. Can you talk about some consumer trends and behaviors in the hard candy category right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like, with our launch of retro sours, sour, obviously, people are loving sour, not just in hard candy, but I think in all candy. But specifically in hard candy, we're seeing the retro sours. There's also a bunch on TikTok that are similar to retro sours, like different shapes. I forget what it's called. It's like the triangle one that I keep seeing. But again, just I'm seeing a lot of sour.
Yeah, I've also seen the departure of like standard flavors, fruit flavors, and why I believe our Cream Savers product has done so well and become very prominent within the industry is our cream and swirled products. We have the strawberries and cream, orange and cream. We've just launched a chocolate and caramel cream, and just this past month, we're launching raspberries and cream and peaches and cream. This product is done really well, obviously very well-known brand, but very different to the standard like root beer barrel or fruit flavored hard candy. Definitely seeing an uptick in distribution in that.
I also feel like, just to chime in again, is interestingly, I feel like hard candy was definitely a format of the past. It was, what people refer to as the grandma's candy, right? What you would see in the candy dishes. And then I think it kind of went away a little bit and it's been resurrected. And I'm seeing a lot more, younger people with hard candy, a lot more people with candy dishes again back on their office counters or in their living room, coffee tables or things like that. Which I just think that's a hard candy um like item.
Yeah.
You're not gonna put like soft chews in like a candy dish.
Also, travelability. I think that our products with the rolled product, with the individual packaged pieces inside those rolls, making it, travelable and takeable within your bag or in your car, has really grown the brand again, like the category again. The retro sours, the tin, people love carrying that, and the feel of shaking it around, people really enjoy. So I've definitely seen people, and I agree with Kim that hard
It's
candy
like
has had a resurgence.
resurrected a little.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Well, at least with like the nostalgia, they're calling it
Hmm.
part. Like cream savers, I remember those from like the 90s. So when I
Hmm.
Yes.
saw that you guys had it, I was really excited about that. I remember them being really good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
they're
nostalgia. That's our
favorite.
trademark term, actually. We came up with quite a while ago.
Yeah, but
I love it.
yeah, it's interesting. Like the cream savers really brings back some
Some
OG,
feels.
yeah, some OG nostalgia for me as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then you just talked a little bit about this, but can you talk about in terms of trends like flavors, ingredients, buying consumption occasions? You were saying that hard candy is more prevalent nowadays.
I could definitely give you a trend on flavors and colors. I think that over the last couple of years, it has been a big social conversation about what people are eating and what's in their foods ingredients. We have created an initiative in our company where we're working on taking out all artificial coloring and flavoring in our products. Retro sours, I think all of them are currently all natural color and flavor. So there's definitely a trend that I see people doing.
No,
Um,
no, it's not. Retro sours is all natural colors, but there is artificial flavors
yes,
in
yes,
them.
okay.
Yes.
And what was the other question about what other trends?
I don't know, but I wanted to jump in and say there is a whole flavor change going on right now, I think. So, as Jordan mentioned earlier, I think people are moving away a little bit from just your typical flavors like strawberry and cherry and grape, and people want to see more unique flavor profiles. So, with retro sour specifically, we launched last year the passion fruit, and we launched red apple, which I think was very unique. People are used to seeing like green apple, sour green apple. This was more like a cider red apple, and people have been loving it. And then actually
This year.
next month, or actually at the end of this month, because we are now in July, it's arriving this month, we're launching peach, pineapple, and lychee sours. So we'll have three new flavors there. I think the one people are most excited for is the lychee.
I was going to say lychee is a great flavor. I've been seeing it pop up more
It is
on.
great.
Kim and I are big lychee martini fans,
Yeah.
and we came up with the idea of crushing the lychee martini, lychee pieces of candy, and rimming a lychee martini drink with it.
Yeah, that sounds good. My next question is kind of similar to that. So, like, how does iconic candy work to keep up with current consumer interests? Like, for example, how did you get the idea for the lychee flavor?
Well, I think what Kim has indicated, we believe that people are leaning more towards non-traditional flavor profiles. Like our initial launch with Retro Sours was tangerine, mango, and citrus. The tangerine was one of the most popular flavors, but you don't actually see tangerine flavors very often. You see orange, but not tangerine, and there's definitely distinction in our flavor profile. You see it in a lot of energy drink companies that have produced different type of like fusion flavors, definitely not standard. And I definitely see that not only in hard candy, but in many other types of formats of candy that people have gone towards different types of non-traditional flavor
Yeah, I
profiles.
think that, if you're asking like how we kind of come up with or where do we see the trends, I like to actually look at other industries and see what other adjacent industries are doing. So what they're doing in the snack industry or what they're doing in the beverage industry, or even like, as Jordan said, like energy drinks or things like that, because it's indicative of what the consumer is looking for, and they're looking for something that's a little newer, a little more unique, a little not as easy to come by, a little more exciting. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a great way to do some market research, and then I just know what we like, what my friends like, what my kids like, right? We're all a little bit of a different consumer demographic, and you kind of start seeing the overlap, and that's where you kind of hit gold.
Okay, that makes sense. You kind of just answered my next question. It was going to be, how do you keep your finger on the pulse of emerging consumer taste trends? So you said like, seeing like what people are liking, seeing what your friends are liking, other consumers, etc.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have a really nice big group of friends and kids at different age stages in our immediate circle here. They love to taste test our products, which is a great thing and a fun thing. And we definitely take a lot of their notes into our R&D process and work on that. So it's definitely a very helpful thing that we have here kind of locally in our area. But we also do social media polls and hear their comments on our posts and things like that definitely also give us a different flavor of information from consumers all around the country.
yeah, I think it's also important to note too that, the flavor houses as well do their own research on all of these things. So, like for example, last year when we were at Sweet and Snacks, a bunch of the different flavor houses had their flavors that they felt were going to be like the most popular flavors of the year out on display. And ironically, a lot of them had passion fruit out, which we
Yeah,
were already ahead of the curve there
guava.
because we were already launching passion fruit retro sours that year. So, after we launched the passion fruit retro sours, then you see other brands also bringing out passion fruit. And it's not because they were following us, but I think they were following the consumer trends of what the flavor houses were kind of showcasing. I
Okay.
also think that a lot of um, what's the word? International flavors are becoming really sought after. So like lychee, obviously, a lot of
Guava,
guava, fruits from South America or from Europe
dragon
that maybe
fruit.
you can't really get in America as much. I think people are becoming more curious in regards to those.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've been seeing, like you said, lychee, but also like yuzu and things like
Hmm.
Yes,
that, like
definitely.
more more
Yeah,
international.
Starbucks has like been doing a whole thing with
Their
like
energy, like
yeah, their
teas.
energy refreshers. They've been launching all these really unique flavor profiles, and
That that
I've been
lends
loving it.
into the comment that you made is like the other industries,
Yeah.
they also do a little bit of market research, which we try to manage and watch. So it definitely gives us a little insight into that.
Yep, that makes sense. And then similarly, have you seen any notable innovations in hard candy lately? It doesn't have to be iconic candy, but feel free to talk about that.
Hmm.
In hard candy, I've definitely seen some companies that are doing like juice-filled hard candy products. But not and then obviously there's the freeze-dried products that people have taken hard candy products and turned into a freeze-dried product. But other than that, there hasn't been extreme innovation. I think that the flavor profile and the ingredient of either natural flavoring and natural coloring is definitely going to be newer in terms of trending of hard candy. For
Okay.
us, it's been the packaging, the tin that has definitely brought some innovation and newness and excitement to the hard candy space, that I think has been done very well for us. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of innovation in hard candy, I feel like there hasn't been that much. I've seen filled hard candy, which we're actually working on an entire line
Filled
of
hard
filled
candy.
hard candies with different flavor profiles. As I mentioned earlier, there's that one brand that I've been seeing on TikTok that's like the square hard candy, which not square, triangular. I can't remember what it's called, but that was really interesting to me just because I'd never seen it. And I wouldn't really think that that would be enticing, like to eat a triangular piece of candy. I don't know. I think a deposited round piece of candy is more is it has a nicer mouthfeel to it. But I have seen that on TikTok, and again, it was very sour, and I think that's where the virality came from. But yeah, I think in hard candy, it's definitely not as innovative as maybe some of the other industries. There's a lot of
Like
innovation
gummy or
going on
snack.
in gummy and snack and collaborative type
Like
like crossover collaborations within those categories. But yeah.
Okay. And then I was going to ask if you have any recent or upcoming candy launches, but I know you have a few coming up, right?
we
Yes.
do. We have a hard candy line that's going to be a high-end line that's going to be a partnership with, which we're going to keep under wraps. We're not giving any information because it's kind of an exciting project of ours, but it's going to be a filled hard candy line, deposited product, and it's going to have um, a dual flavor profile that is going to be kind of a high-end hard candy line that we're very excited on.
Yeah, so we have plans to launch that hopefully sometime in 2027. That's on the hard candy side. We're also launching a gummy brand at the end of this year. Um, that is called Hula. So that will be out hopefully by the end of this year. And yeah, I mean, we do have a few other nostalgic brands that we're working on R&D on. I don't have timelines on those at the moment. They're just in various stages of R&D. So it's kind of like whenever we can get through R&D and we're happy with the final product, that's when we'll be launching it. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the hard candy though, the cream savers, like we said, we just launched the two new flavors there, the raspberries and cream and peaches and cream. We've been seeing a lot of consumer excitement on those, especially since the cream savers brand really hasn't had much innovative flavor launches since we first launched it in
2021.
2021. And then on retro sours, like I said, we have three more flavors launching at the end of July, which will round out
Our
10
10
flavors
flavors.
of retro sours, which is wild. But I always say if we make it, they will come, right? So if we build it, they will come, they will eat it. So people just have been loving the retro sours, and I think Jordan's like giving me a hard cutoff at number 10 for that flavor. But then, then we do have people saying, oh, well, why don't you do a tin that has 3 flavor combos and this and that? So, I say 10,
Yeah.
but
Well, we're also working on a gummy line of retro sours as
yeah,
well and changing up the format. I think that's a great and easy extension
line
for that
extension on
brand
the
that we're
brand. Yeah,
also
like a
currently
super, super
R&D on as
sour
well.
gummy brand.
Yeah, definitely. I think sour
Never a boring
gummies.
day at Iconic Candy, I'll tell you that.
Right. I think sour gummies are really popular right now. At
Definitely.
least
Yes.
from what I saw at Sweets and Snacks. It's interesting to see how sour, because some of them are like a little too sour, like very
Yeah.
extreme,
Yeah.
and others have just like a nice sour
You got to
taste to
hit the
them.
right balance because you want to hit the consumer that's looking for sour, but you don't want to alienate the other consumer that wants to try sour, but then if it's too sour, they're like, nah, I'm good. I don't want this. So there's definitely a fine line between the two.
Yeah, but also I feel like when you call a brand retro sours, like it better be sour. Like it's not it's gotta hit the mark
gotta
at
hit.
least. So
Right. True. High expectations. My last question, it might be a hard one. What is your favorite retro sours flavor to enjoy, and or what is your favorite iconic candy product to enjoy?
I can answer that right away. My favorite retro sours flavor is watermelon. It sits in my car, my bag, my desk. I've always been a watermelon flavor fanatic. So that was a product when we were working on it. I was very scrutinous of the flavor profile. Love it. And I would say as of right now, I eat way too much of it. That is currently my iconic candy current most
favorite.
popular favorite candy.
Yeah. So I am different. I would have said if you asked me like a few months ago, I would have said passion fruit. But as I've mentioned before, I'm obsessed with the lychee one. The lychee just is phenomenal. We went through so many different renditions of that flavor to get to the correct lychee flavor without it being like overly floral, which a lychee can be very floral in tasting. I think we totally nailed it. All of my friends that, have tried it are obsessed with it. It's the one they all carry around now. Um, and I think in terms of my favorite brand though, like I think it's the Cream Savers. I love the new Peaches and Cream
It's
is
really good. Very, very good.
phenomenal. Like that, I know strawberry is the number one flavor for us, like as a seller, but I think that peach might give it a run for its money. Like that flavor is just insane. So
It's a very iconic flavor as well, just not only in the Cream Savers brand, but in all other types of foods. When you hear like something with cream, you always think peaches and cream, or
right,
strawberries and cream. So I
right.
definitely believe it's going to become a top selling flavor in the Cream
Yeah, I
Savers.
love the peaches and cream. So I think that's the one, like that's what I have in my bag right now. I also do have a few retro sours flavors in there too. But but
Those all
yeah, those,
sound
those would be my top.
okay. Those all sound good. Yeah, I remember the strawberries and cream for cream savers. The peaches is completely new, right? Like it was never
Yeah,
released
we just
before.
launched at the
No, there
show.
was a peaches and cream.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there was.
We just
Okay.
haven't, it's been taking us since 2021 to bring this flavor profile
Yeah,
out.
but it was a flavor back in the day when
Yes,
when
same
Cream
with
Savers
raspberries
was
and cream.
first around. There was a peaches and cream flavor. I just don't think it got as much you know,
Traction. Yeah.
attention, right? I think the strawberries and cream was just like the number one. That's the
Yeah.
one that people remember. So, yeah, I also think they like maybe brought it out a little bit later.
Mhm.
So we're kind of following in those footsteps as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds good. And that is all the time we have for today, but thanks again for being here with us.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us,
so much
Liz.
for having us.